Here at Temasek, we are a generational investor. We are today's generation, acting as a steward for our and future generations. Our charter defines who we are and what we do, even as we evolve in this fast-changing world. We are an investor, an institution, and a steward. As at 31st March 2017, our net portfolio value grew to a record 275 billion Singapore dollars. That's $33 billion higher than last year. Our one-year total shareholder return, or TSR, was 13% in Singapore dollar terms. Looking at our longer-term performance, our TSRs were 4% for 10 years and 6% for 20 years. Our TSR since inception was 15%. This means 15% growth compounded annually over 43 years since 1974. Our wealth added for the year was $14.6 billion. This represents our total dollar return above our risk-adjusted cost of capital. Dividend income from our portfolio this past year was $7 billion. This is about 19 times our interest expense for the year. We have outstanding debt of $12.8 billion, mostly in the form of Temasek bonds. $7.7 billion of this debt is due over the next 10 years. Our liquidity balance was 5 times this debt amount. This liquidity balance includes our cash and cash equivalents, together with our short-term investments. We ended our last financial year in a net cash position. We continually shape our portfolio as an active investor. We buy, sell, or hold, based on our views on intrinsic value assessments when opportunities or challenges arise. Given geopolitical risks across the world and rich equity market valuations in key markets, we adopted a measured and disciplined investment pace with a focus on private, negotiated opportunities. During the year, we invested 16 billion Singapore dollars and divested $18 billion. This resulted in a net divestment of $2 billion for the first time since 2009. The major sectors of our investments during the year were telecommunications, media and technology, transportation and industrials, and life sciences and agribusiness. By geography, the US continued to account for the largest share of our new investments. We remain firmly committed to Asia, with Singapore accounting for the largest share of our investments in the region during the year. In the US, we invested in companies such as Amazon and Verity Life Sciences. In China, we invested in Ctrip and ZTO Express. In Singapore, we increased our stake in Singtel, and we acquired all the minority shares in SMRT via a scheme of arrangement. SMRT was then delisted from the Singapore Exchange. Key divestments included our positions in Synchrony Financial, Bharti Airtel, Lafarge Holcim, and Evonik Industries, as well as part of our stake in InTouch Holdings. We also exited some holdings via acquisitions by third parties, alongside the uptick in global M&A activity during the year. These include divesting our stakes in Neptune Oil Lines and BE Aerospace. As at 31st March 2017, Singapore was the largest country exposure in our portfolio at 29% by underlying assets. This is followed closely by China at 25%. The US is a fast-rising third at 11%. In 2011, we began shifting our portfolio towards new areas of focus: technology, life sciences, agribusiness, non-bank financial services, consumer, and energy and resources. As at 31st March 2017, investments in these areas constituted almost a quarter of our portfolio, up from just an 8% share 6 years ago. Our 4 investment themes continue to guide us today as we invest for future generations. Incorporated in 1974, Temasek is wholly owned by the Singapore Minister for Finance. As an investment company, we own and manage our assets on a purely commercial basis. We operate independently, and we aren't a fund manager for our shareholder. Our Temasek DNA guides our people. Meritocracy and integrity are our watchwords. We care for our people and want to build an institution of dedicated professionals who think and act as owners and stewards beyond their own tenure. Our compensation framework fosters a high-performing and responsible culture where we share gains and pains alongside our shareholder. For example, longer-term incentives are deferred up to 12 years. And if our returns are not sustained over market cycles, bonuses are clawed back. This is our ownership mindset in practice. During the year, we expanded our footprint in North America by opening our new office in San Francisco. This provides us a gateway to deepen our relationships in the Bay Area and develop investment opportunities in technology, healthcare, life sciences and agribusiness, and early-stage companies. As an intergenerational steward, we believe that global collective action is required to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. We are committed to an ABC world, encompassing an active economy, a beautiful society, and a clean earth. To translate these ideals into reality, we look for innovative solutions, technologies, and methods that address sustainability challenges and create value. We promote the belief that sustainability and prosperity can go hand in hand, and not at the expense of one another, through our annual Ecosperity Conference. In June 2017, we held our 4th Ecosperity Conference, themed Tomorrow Starts Today. 400 global leaders gathered to exchange ideas and best practices on sustainable development. Ecosperity 2017 also marked the launch of the Business and Sustainable Development Commission's Asia Report. This report outlines how businesses can unlock economic opportunities worth up to $5 trillion in Asia by addressing the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. Affordable housing for sustainable cities and infrastructure and products for clean water and clean energy are just a couple of those opportunities that will require effort and investment. To help our wider community, we have to date gifted 17 non-profit endowments and given to many other worthy public causes. In September 2016, we reorganized our 17 endowments under 6 foundations. This provides focus to better plan and deliver community programs in our rapidly changing world. Temasek Foundation Management Services was established for economies of scale, pulling together resources to help support the mission of our 6 foundations. The programs run by our foundations focus on building people, building communities, building capabilities, and rebuilding lives. We help individuals, families, and communities, especially those most in need, to improve their lives. Together, these programs have touched over 500,000 lives in Singapore and Asia. Born barely a decade into Singapore's independence, Temasek had no blueprint, just Singapore's DNA of integrity and courage. 43 years on, we remain true to our DNA, our roots, our core. As an active investor, a forward-looking institution, and a trusted steward.